Hey, what is going on everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and today I'm going to be talking about the Xbox One. I've had it for about a week and some people have been wanting to know, how is the system? Should I buy it? And that is the whole main purpose of this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Now first off, I can say this console is definitely gauged to people that want an overall entertainment experience in their living room. I like having a machine that can play my games, but also I could get on Skype with, I can instantly go over to Netflix, things like that. I could go on to Internet Explorer and just snap and swap back and forth between apps effortlessly and suspend them. That's been a feature I really like. I really like suspending games, I like switching back and forth between applications. Everything has been near perfect on that front. Now honestly, there are a few times where, going back into a game or going into an application might not work properly or there might be some lag or whatnot, but honestly, this is a bit disappointing, but it's to be expected since the system has been out for a week. However, I feel like these issues will definitely get ironed out later. One thing is, if you do want to hook up an external drive to your system, you will not be able to do that yet. That is going to be coming in a future update for the system. But right now, if you have a game or a movie or anything like that, I don't think you can do that with games, but if you have a movie, anything like that on an external hard drive or even a flash drive, you will not be able to play it off there. Not yet, at least. Now, the launch titles on the system are really nothing brag-worthy, but they have been fun. They've kept me entertained. I've played around with Rise, Forza 5, Dead Rising 3, and Killer Instinct, and honestly, I've really had fun with all of them. I've spent the most time on Forza, which is surprising because I'm really not even a fan of racing games, but I've really enjoyed it. All the games look great, they've handled near properly. I think the game with the worst performance has been Dead Rising 3 because people were saying, I've seen tests, but people were saying that the frame rate's been dropping up and down and just fluctuating, but really playing the game, I really was not noticing it. You have to notice it if you're a real expert and you're really looking for these things, but honestly, I wasn't having any issues with it. I've had fun with all the games. Now, with the whole experience of playing and all this Xbox One experience, I can say, first off, the Kinect is awesome. I was not expecting to say that, but the Kinect is very awesome. Now, with the controller itself, I did an unboxing of the controller before. I still hate the left and right bumpers. I hate them. I hate them. Aside from that, controller has been improved and it's been really great, and the headset on there has been awesome as well. I've used it mostly for Skype, but friends have said that the mic has been great on there. In fact, one of my friends complained and said that my webcam mic sounded terrible once I got back on my computer, which really surprised me. So that means that this time the mic is pretty good. Also, the actual headset piece where you're listening in on is powerful, it is great, but if you're wanting to hook up a third-party headset, you're going to have to, go into your basement and either hack up your communicator to get the adapter going, or you're going to have to wait for the first and later third-party adapters to come out if you're too scared to do that. Now, I can say what I'm really not liking with the system is just the little things here and there. For example, my Netflix app is not working for some reason. It's not working, I don't know why. When snapping apps are running two at the same time, side by side, or going back and forth between them while having snap in motion and all that, just kind of trying to push the system, I was noticing it had a decent, performance hit on there, which I was really disappointed with. So I'm hoping this all is going to get ironed out later in future updates, but I don't know, it's week one, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, I can definitely say this, I believe the most disappointing feature, at least on my end, has been the HDMI pass-through. In case you do not know, this system is HDMI only, but it has an HDMI out, which you hook up to your TV. In my case, I'm hooking it up to my Elgato, and then from there, you can have a cable box or really any HDMI device hooked up into your Xbox One, so then you could use your console, your TV, whatever you want to do through your Xbox One, which sounds like an awesome feature, but I'll just say this, keep it to TV, keep it to your cable box. Now, I don't have a cable box or anything like that, but I hooked up my Xbox 360 through there, and I will say at first it does not help already that I am using an Elgato. I don't know how much input delay that serves, but I know it has to bring out a little bit. Also, I'm playing on a TV which already gives me input delay as is, which isn't too bad because I'm not playing competitively, but the bad thing is, when I hooked up my 360 through my Xbox One, there was a really bad input delay. I thought it was just my imagination, but one night I tested it out. I played Left 4 Dead with a friend, and let's just say I was really happy it was not competitive and it was not multiplayer. The input delay was bad enough to the point where anything I did on my controller showed on screen about half a second later. Now think about that. If you're playing online, you can't have that half a second input delay on your system. That just does not work. So Microsoft was saying that the system would not have that much input delay with the HDMI pass-through, but that is simply not the case. I was experiencing about half a second, maybe even less than that, but it felt like a half a second of input delay, which if you're playing online, if you're just playing a game in general, even single player, that is definitely a no-go right there. You cannot do that. Now, one thing with the Kinect is, do I feel like it should have been bundled with the system? Honestly, I'm happy it's there. Now it doesn't feel gimmicky. Now it doesn't feel like a burden to have anymore. And honestly, I've really enjoyed the Kinect. Yes, I'll say that. I like the Kinect. I like having it hooked up. Yes, it might be a NSA gateway into my apartment, but hey, I'm guessing whoever is spying on me is going to get real tired of me playing Dead Rising or Forza without my shirt just sitting on my couch. I'm pretty sure they don't want to stare at that for a few hours. Now, what about reliability with these systems? Well, I can say I haven't had any hardware issues, thankfully. I haven't had any overall system crashes. I haven't had any error codes happen on my system, and the thing is super silent. If you do the game install and all that, I like to install my games 100% because that's just me. I feel just weird if I'm playing it while it's installing in the background. But if you play your games like that, I really doubt you're going to have any issues. I've never heard my fan on my Xbox. It stays real cool, and even if you're playing it for a few hours, you're really not going to have any load on your system. It's still going to stay cool to, you know, decently warm, which really impressed me. So I really don't think we're going to have a huge problem with general system failures like we did this generation. So I've covered the games, I've covered the experience, I've covered the good, I've covered the bad, I've covered, you know, even hardware failures possibly. It's too late to tell right now since it's only a week in, but so far it doesn't seem like it's going to be that bad. Now, should you buy the Xbox One? Well, I will say this. I recommend buying it if you want that overall entertainment experience, if you want the Kinect, if you really want to try it out, if you want to jump into next gen, if all your friends are on there and you just want to play some of the new games, I recommend getting it. However, if a lot of your friends are still on the older platforms, if you really don't see a need to upgrade, if there's nothing like that, if you're still happy where you are right now, you still have time, and hey, you know, the price is only going to go down on these systems later on. So for you, I would not recommend getting it. Now, I got the system not because friends were getting it or anything, but I got the system because I wanted to jump into next gen, and the Xbox's first party titles appealed to me more. I did want to play Dead Rising. Rise looked good. I didn't buy the system only for those by any means, but hey, for launch titles, they looked good. And later on, I'm going to need it for Halo anyways, so I decided to get in there. Also, I really like having Skype on my system. I like having things like that. I thought it was great. So overall, even going to the other side of the fence, what about the PS4? I know this isn't a PS4 overview, but I do have an unbiased opinion on all this, what I like to feel like. I don't even recommend getting that either, for the exact same reasons. There's really no big reason to jump into next gen right now if you're just wanting to try it out or anything like that. However, if you're really dead set on it, if you're someone like me who you just want to be an early adopter, you want to try it out, you want to see how it was, but you could rationalize it and you had the money for it, then I definitely recommend it. But if it's something that you really don't care about and you see no need to go to the next generation, go ahead and stay where you are, stay comfortable, you'll be fine. However, one thing you should know with both consoles is that they will not be backwards compatible, so I would highly recommend holding on to your 360s and PS3s if you are going to be upgrading. Anyways, that's about all I have to say about this with the first week. I'm gonna go back, play some more video games. So this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thank you for watching, everyone.